Hello everyone, welcome to Proven Inspiration. I do hope you're having a good day. I'd like to provide you with training today, and our topic is for happily married couples or couples on your couple, you're on your way to being happily married. This video is for you. So the topic is move towards each other. So now that topic, you might be thinking, what do you mean move towards each other? We're already married, haven't we moved towards each other? Yes and no. So when you marry someone, that's a good, significant move. However, what happens is a lot of times people get married and you feel like that's the ultimate move. However, even within marriage, especially within marriage, there are small daily movements that must be made towards each other to solidify your relationship. Now, when you're dating, think back to when you were dating. That could be a year ago, 5 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. You were ever so attentive. If your girlfriend said, oh, I've got a headache, next thing you know, you show up with 5 packets of paracetamol or aspirin. Or your boyfriend says, oh, I've got a cold, and you turn up at his place with a pot of soup or whatever. So you're attentive, you're making movements towards each other. That must not stop when you get married. In fact, if anything, you must increase it. You must become more attentive. You must become more intentional about moving towards each other. Now, moving towards each other, like I've already alluded to, it's about the small daily things that you do to show your partner that you still love them. Because love is more than just saying I love you. It's more than just the wedding ring. It's more than just the house. It's the small daily things that you do for each other to make life just a little bit easier for your spouse, for your husband, for your wife. It's just those small things that you do. So let's say your wife sends you a text. I saw this on Instagram a couple of days ago. A wife sends her husband a text saying that she was planning to cook mac and cheese, but she'd run out of butter. Now, she didn't actually ask for the butter, but he picked up on her hint and he said, when I'm coming home, I'll come home with some butter. Now, some husbands would have looked at that text and be like, oh well, she ran out of butter, and just gone home without the butter. Some wives are more, they'll give you more hints. They won't come out and say, could you get me some butter, please? Maybe because they don't want to put too much pressure on you. But as a husband, you should be aware, like you should be listening to what she's saying directly, and also the subtle hints that she's dropping. So if she's made mention of the fact that she ran out of butter, pick up the butter, offer to pick it up before she even asks you. If your husband comes home from work and he tells you about a deal that he made, or there's a job role that he's moved on to, ask follow-up questions. Ask him how he's finding his new job role. Ask him if he tells you that he's just purchased a new property. Ask him what the property looks like, what he liked about the property. Ask those follow-up questions. Why? Because it shows your partner that you're still interested in them. You're interested not just in your body, but you're interested in the heart and in the mind of your partner. And so you make all these small daily movements towards each other, and what you're essentially saying to your partner is, I love you, I still care about you, I am still interested in you. So if your husband tells you that he attended a family event which you didn't go to, let's say with his brother, let's say it was his brother's birthday and he attended that event, ask him something about the event, like how did it go, who was there, how old is your brother, what happened, just be interested. And I know that sometimes as married couples you can get so involved in life, paying bills, maybe looking after the kids, just making sure that you stay afloat and you're surviving and hopefully even thriving. And so you forget to make those small movements towards each other. But it's important that you are aware that when your spouse volunteers information to you, it's because that's their first attempt to connect with you. But if you don't take the next step towards them, if you don't move towards them by asking a question, they'll just assume you're not interested and they'll stop talking. If your husband comes home and tells you about something that's happened at work and you don't ask a follow-up question, he'll assume you're not interested and he'll stop talking. If your wife comes home and tells you something about something that happened at work or with a relative or with a family member, and you don't ask a follow-up question, you don't move towards her and show that you're interested in what she's saying, she'll just stop talking and move away. And so sometimes couples go for years in this state whereby you're not moving towards each other. And guess what? Life is about movements. If you're not moving, that means you're stagnating. And if in fact you're moving backwards, because guess what? When you stand still, everything that you left behind catches up with you. And so if you were in a place whereby you were having difficulties before, having difficulties in your relationship, those difficulties will catch up with you because you're not being intentional about moving forward and moving towards each other on an intentional daily basis. And so when couples get to that point, that you might try to do something grand, like taking your wife out on holiday and trying to talk to her, or buying your husband a car to let him know you love him. But by then it's too late. Why? Because for years you've avoided the hints, you've avoided the opportunities that they've dropped your way to move closer to them, to show them that you still love them, to show them that you're still interested. And so when you come and you start making those grand gestures, it's just too late. They're not interested. Why? Because you've sent the subliminal message to them, consciously or unconsciously, that they are not important for you to give them your time, your effort, a few minutes a day. Okay, so it's important that you move towards each other intentionally. It's not going to happen automatically. The bills are not going to go away. The challenges that you face they're not going to go away. But you have to be aware that when your spouse is speaking to you and they're telling you something, that's an opportunity for you to connect with their heart, for you to show them once again, without saying the words, I love you, your heart, your time is saying to them, I love you. So when they tell you something about home, about their mom or their parents or their siblings, anything, it doesn't matter how big or how small it is, a job loss, when you ask them, how are you feeling about it? How are you handling this? How's this affecting you? You're showing that you care. You're letting them know that you love them. Okay? So be very intentional about moving towards each other and solidify your relationship. These are my thoughts for you today. Please feel free to share this video with whoever you think needs to hear it. Until next time, from my heart to yours, do take it easy. Bye.